Lexi Lang here, your Midwest Conference missiologist. I wanted to take a moment to invite you to Exploring Call for Men and Women, October 11th through 12th in the Kansas City area. This will be a time to help you discern a call to vocational ministry, and we think it's going to be really meaningful. But don't just take my word for it. Check out what these pastors had to say.
My name is Jael Bushling, and I attended the very first Exploring Call hosted by the Midwest Conference in 2018. At the time, I was a stay-at-home mom and volunteered with the high school ministry at my church, where my husband served as the youth pastor. God had called me to full-time vocational ministry in college, but I wasn't sure what that call looked like in a church context. I knew the Covenant denomination affirmed women in all areas of pastoral leadership, but I didn't feel that pastoring a church was for me. At Exploring Call, God used the teachings, testimonies, and community to give shape to the call to ministry I received in college. I was given space to wrestle with my doubts, guided an area of resistance, and challenged to keep saying yes to God. When I left Exploring Call that weekend, I knew without a doubt God was calling me to serve as a pastor. Since attending Exploring Call 6 years ago, I have said yes to co-pastoring a church alongside my husband, graduated with my master's in Christian formation through Equip, and am pursuing ordination in the ECC this year. Exploring Call was just the beginning of an incredibly exciting journey of discovering my ministry identity as I continue to step fully into the purposeful and meaningful work that God has called me to do.
I signed up for the Exploring Call retreat in a really weird place. I was grieving. I just felt lost. I was frustrated because I didn't feel like I was hearing from the Lord about my calling, about pursuing a dream I've had for a really long time of starting a business, and confused what that looked like in the midst of ministry and my calling in that. So, I went in hoping and praying for very specific direction on those things, and instead I felt the Lord inviting me in to just remembering what it's like to delight in Him, what it means just to sit in His love and not strive and not constantly be consumed by pursuing this dream, but what it's like just to sit and rest with Him and not have an agenda. And so that is what the Exploring Call retreat did to me. In return, it allowed me to have this awesome time of just rest and being with God. And shortly after, I did end up launching my business about 5 months later. So I encourage you to be a part of this retreat and also go in with an open mind and heart of what the Lord wants to say to you.
What might God be calling you to? How might He want to use your personality, your passions for His purposes in the world? My name is Austin Penn, and my call story begins when I was 14 years old. And while my call story was profound and clear, God made it so clear to me, maybe because I'm stubborn and I needed that. What was most important to my call story was the way it was discerned and affirmed in community. This is why I want to invite you to come to our Exploring Call retreat in Kansas City, October 11th through 12th.